Hi, hello, good evening. It is the 5th of March and it's the first day of Lent, and I've decided that what I'm going to do is, because my landlord has now started to do repairs to the property, even though they're not how I personally think they should be done, as long as environmental health are happy. I mean, next door I've had this fantastic brand new fence panels put in, and the same you can probably see just in front of that tree. The reason the one near the tree's been done is obviously because it's not a landlord property, whereas this one is. And I'm so glad that the weather has started to pick up, that the landlords of all the properties in the area have started to take more pride in their properties and have refixed the fence panels, because it was just so open. I love the fact that it was open because the sun was just able to hit every single garden. It was absolutely great for the garden, but maybe not so great if you're trying to prevent people breaking into your house or, stealing things. So that's probably one of the main reasons why so many fences have gone up over my lifetime, at least. And, and people don't tend to get to know who lives next door anymore because you have this fence in front of you. So what me and my little boy are doing, because he's off school with chicken pots, this is one of the main flower beds, which was actually a pond when I moved in. And I didn't want it to be a pond anymore because of the age of my children, and I didn't think it would be safe. Plus, I was only supposed to be here for 6 months. So what I did was I filled it in with soil. But because the ivy has now been cut down as much as it can, most of this flower bed is actually full of ivy roots, which we've been pulling out and putting into a bucket. And if anyone has ever seen the movie 7 Years in Tibet, my little boy, he has been saving every single worm and millipede that we have found as we've been digging up the soil. We even found yesterday, what did we find yesterday?
Baby worm.
No, baby worms. Well, he calls them baby worms. They're not really baby worms. We actually found a queen bumblebee that was in hibernation. So we carefully picked her up on the spades, put her in a bucket with some soil, and we've put her in a safe place in the garden. So I'm so glad that when they were putting in the fence yesterday, they didn't disturb her and, she didn't get squished. So we've literally been painstakingly, every time I ever do any garden, this is where the time goes. We always sieve out the roots. And at the moment in this, there's a lot of ivy, there's a lot of bindweed, and there's a lot of bramble and potentially stinging nettles. Some of it I don't mind, because when the bumblebees and all the wildlife comes out of hibernation, they're going to need these things to survive. So we haven't put them in the bin and thrown them away. We've just reallocated them to another part of the garden. So all of this is just literally full of roots and things. So hopefully, again, all the slugs and snails and everything will take refuge there. And then all of the worms have been put into the wheelbarrow so that we can relocate them to the compost heap later on, once we have done all of this flower bed. So my aim over the next 40 days, 40 nights, isn't just to obviously potentially look for somewhere new to live, but to give this garden a little bit of TLC so that when the wildlife does start waking up, there's going to be some flowers growing that are going to be perfect for the butterflies and bumblebees and everything else that we know thrives in this garden and has done for the past 8 years.